In this video, we are going to talk about Jupiter into the sign of Sagittarius, Nakshatras, Padas, and more. And what are the effects when you have Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius in your natal chart? So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Vedic Astrology channel, Jupiter in Sagittarius. But before that, if you want to learn Vedic Astrology step by step, join me on 33 days Vedic Astrology Bootcamp. Or if you want to learn how to read the charts, I have a live free training. Check out the link on my description. Go to my website, which will help you to get started into Vedic astrology, even if you have no prior background to Vedic astrology. So check out the link into the description or check out my website. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is the planet which is the most benefic planet, and it is the planet of abundance. Jupiter, wherever Jupiter is placed in or is aspecting or is associated with any planet, it blesses it with its abundance. It blesses it with all the positive qualities of the Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet which shows wealth, shows knowledge, and it also shows ethical and moral values of the person. Jupiter is also about the higher belief. Jupiter is the planet which is also the significator of the teachers, mentors, and it is also the significator for your children. So Jupiter is the most important planet in one's chart. Jupiter also responsible for education and knowledge. I've already made a separate video on Jupiter. You can go and watch that and explore all the qualities of the Jupiter. But yes, Jupiter is the polar opposite of the Saturn. Jupiter is the planet of abundance and is the planet of the great wealth, knowledge, wisdom, ethical values, moral values, higher beliefs, spirituality, teachers, student, children, all these things can be seen with Jupiter. Let's talk about the Sagittarius sign. What is a Sagittarius sign? Whenever we judge a sign, we judge it with three parameters. First is who is the ruler of that planet. Second is what is the element associated with that planet, not planet, with that Rashi. And the third one is the modality. Okay, so let's look at the Sagittarius sign with these three aspects. The sign of Jupiter, the sign of Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and it has all the qualities of the Jupiter. We talked about the Jupiter as knowledge, wisdom, ethics, values, teachers, mentors, children, wealth, abundance, income, and so on. Okay, so the sign of Sagittarius has all these qualities, and it is the own sign for Jupiter. So it allows Jupiter to work in its best possible way. So yes, the sign of Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Next, what is the element? The element of the Sagittarius sign is a fire element. Fire element signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. 159 is a fire element triangle, and fire element is all about creation and creating new things, initiating new things. More so, fire signs are also about creativity. So Sagittarius is also about creativity and intuition, and the sign of Sagittarius is ninth from the Aries. So it's like a Bhagya. Okay, ninth house is the house of Bhagya. So it is fortunate signs among all the signs. The sign of Sagittarius is dual in nature. Okay, the modality of the Sagittarius is dual. Dual signs, if you look at what are the dual signs are 3, 6, 9, 12. And you will often see that dual sign is between one fixed sign and other Chara sign. Okay, let's look at the sign of Gemini. The sign of Gemini is between the sign of Taurus, which is a fixed sign, and the sign of Cancer, which is the Chara sign. The sign of Virgo is between the sign of Leo, which is a fixed sign, and the sign of Libra, which is a Chara sign. The sign of Sagittarius is between the sign of Capricorn, which is a Chara sign, and the Scorpio, which is like a fixed sign. And the sign of Pisces is between the sign of Aries, which is a Chara sign, and the sign of Aquarius, which is a fixed sign. So dual sign are often associated between the movement from the fixed to the Chara. The transition is important. That's why these signs have adaptability. Okay, so the signs of duality are the signs of adaptability. So these signs have the qualities of the fixed signs. They continue what they have started from the Chara sign, and now they will allow for certain changes and adjustment to take that to the next level of the Chara sign. Okay, so whenever planets are placed into these dual signs, they are going to the next level. They are in transit. Okay, so always remember that. So the sign of Sagittarius is between the transformation of Scorpio, and it's taking to the material manifestation of Capricorn, right? And for that you need the conviction of the Sagittarius. You need that divine guidance. You need that higher belief of the Sagittarius, and that's what Sagittarius does. Okay, so this is the sign of Sagittarius. Let's talk about what happens when you have Jupiter placed into the sign of Sagittarius. This is one of the best placements for Jupiter. Another sign ruled by Jupiter is Pisces. So what is the difference between the Jupiter in Pisces and Jupiter in Sagittarius, right? So the sign of Sagittarius is one of the most fortunate signs, and the sign of Sagittarius always look for the highest ideals. He's looking to aim at something. He wants to achieve something. So the sign of Sagittarius have high ideals. They have great visions. They follow the great ideals with their own conviction, or they follow certain spiritual practice or um, a certain spiritual path because they're convinced, right? So they always aim high is also one of the characteristic of Jupiter placed into the sign of Sagittarius. The sign of Sagittarius is the sign which is all about the positivity in life. The planet of positivity, Jupiter, comes into the sign which is all about your belief system. So these people are extremely positive in their nature. These people are extremely optimistic in nature. Jupiter in Sagittarius makes a person generous, optimistic, and positive. The planet of knowledge comes into the sign of spirituality. So these people are extremely wise. These people have great wisdom within them, and they like to share it with people, right? The exact opposite of the Sagittarius is the sign of Gemini, which is all about communication. Okay, so if you have well placed planets in this axis, the people with the Jupiter in the Sagittarius tend to share their knowledge with the people. They like to share their wisdom with people. Okay, so Jupiter is also the planet of ethics, values, and morals. The planet of ethics, values, and morals comes into the sign which is all about your belief system, right? So it makes you believe and have a conviction about what you believe in. Okay, so it gives you that spiritual base to move ahead in life. Okay, another thing about the Jupiter in Sagittarius is these people have a inspiration to teach as well as learn. So these people are leader in the field of teaching because they have a lot of positivity, lot of knowledge, wisdom within them, and they have the They have the ability to communicate it with the people, to inspire them as well. So these people are teacher, the leader in teaching, as well as the great student. They will always keep learning. So they have great abilities to learn throughout their life, which makes them unique, which makes them grow even more. Okay. Now let us talk about the nakshatras. The sign of Sagittarius has three nakshatras. The Mula nakshatra from 0 degrees to 13 degrees 20 minutes. Then we have Purvashada nakshatra from 13 degrees 20 minutes to 26 degrees 40 minutes. And we have one pada into Uttarashada nakshatra, into the sign of Sagittarius. Okay. So I have already made a separate videos on this nakshatra. If you want to learn more about nakshatra, go and check out my nakshatra playlist. The link is in the description, or you can check it somewhere into the I button as well. So yes, this was Jupiter into the sign of Sagittarius, as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you have any queries, questions around your Jupiter in Sagittarius, with your unique blend of your chart and all the other planets associated with it, share your queries into the comment section. I read all the comments and I reply to all the comments, sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibes. See you in the next videos. Love and peace. Namaste.